So in this video, I'll take this regular dice and use it to cast a pair in silver. So we start off with our regular dice, as well as some delft clay and a moulding frame. We pack the clay into one part of the frame and level it flat. I use a wooden plank to compact the clay. Once level, I cover the surface with flour. This will prevent this section sticking to the second, as it acts as a barrier. We can then take the dice and press it into the clay. I place it roughly 1.5 cm from the pouring hole. Once roughly halfway pressed into the clay, I take the second half of the frame, add some flour to the top of the dice and pack in more delft clay. Once compact, I level the top. And open the mould frame. Once open, I tap the top of the dice to ease it loose and remove it. Once removed, I carve out a channel for the metal to flow. Press the dice back in to give it its shape, and do the same with the other half. With the dice out, I can then close the mould, and then melt down some scrap silver and pour it into the mould. After it's cooled a little, we can open the mould and remove the cast inside. With the cast removed, I then need to cut off the sprue and any other excess metal. And then begin to file all the faces down. Seeing as I'm making a pair of these, I go about making the second in the exact same manner as the first. So one thing you may notice is that both casts near where the sprue would have been, there is a shallow section. And the next stage is to pack those shallow sections by drilling holes into the area, place wire inside the holes and solder them in place. The reason I do this is because the wire poking out of the holes act as a guide for the solder. As you'll see when I'm soldering, they have a tendency to flow around the areas that are drilled. I noticed that the shallow section goes around to the neighbouring side, so I patched that side up as well. Once everything is soldered and filled in, I then file everything down flat so you'd never know it was there. With all areas level, I need to mark out where I want to place the holes on the dice. 2 of the faces have holes already from the cast, but the other 4 need drilling and burring. So I mark out where the holes should be and then drill out a shallow hole. This will act as a guide for the 2mm burr. After being burred, I then use a diamond round burr to give its finished shape. Once all the holes are made, I sand down the surfaces. And then use a felt wheel and Triple E to buff any scratches. I decide to do a few passes for a better finish before using a soft mop and rouge for a shiny finish. And there you have it, making a pair of silver dice from a regular one. I'm mostly happy with how it turned out, but there's still a few dings and cracks that would need to be improved on. Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to leave a like, and I'll see you next time.